Starting with the 10th seeded Darkest Hour, who just finished 7th in Orlando, Scott.
And the thing about Darkest Hour is, Chris, is this team kind of got put together before the Orlando event, but they still came in and got 7th despite losing round 1 versus final boss. Now, the thing I like about this squad is that Anarchy can finally become a leader. Before, he's been through all the top leaders on the league. You look at it, he's been through Shockwave, Ghostayame, and Tsquared. He knows what it takes to be in the top, and I think he can reach his potential as long as this team keeps practicing the way they did for this event.
Darkest Hour looking strong now, guys. Before Orlando, they never played Guardian Oddball once as a team. I don't expect that to be the case. They're going to be playing on our Doritos Friday night kickoff tonight. Keep an eye on them. They're looking to upset Carbon. But now let's talk about our number 9 seed, and that's Heaven and Earth. They're playing in our first matchup tonight.
And we know we touched into it a little bit earlier. Heaven and Earth, they're coming in with a new squad. They're going to be doing the Friday night kickoff against Status Quo, a rematch, which they won last time. But this Heaven and Earth squad, they're going to be a little different. They're going to be a little more aggressive, a lot more structured. I expect Cypher, Strongside to be very good additions to this Heaven and Earth squad, and that's why they're going to improve immensely this tournament. Heaven and Earth, they might not break into the top 8 this tournament, but their placing is not going to depict how well that they played. It's going to be improvement as the season goes on. Heaven and Earth is one of those teams in it for the long run.
Now, Heaven and Earth, they're all practiced, and so is this next team, guys. It's Status Quo, our 8th seed.
And the thing with Status Quo is, Chris, they finally lived up to their potential. They finally came into a tournament and did as well as they should have. In the past, they've always been great at lands, but they haven't been able to perform at an event. But they finally did it. They placed 4th, and in doing so, they beat our number 1 and 2 seed, straight Rippin and Triggers down. A number 8 seed beat the 1 and 2 seed. That means they're coming to play. Now, the thing I like about this squad, though, is before this event, they did not land against any of the top 5 teams. Every other event, all the top 5 teams have looked out for them, but they have no idea what to expect, and they are going to sleep on this team, and if they do, Status Quo is going to upset them.
And what I really liked about Status Quo was their ability to battle back, how they fell into the losers bracket so early, ability to beat the number 1 and 2 seed. That just showed their level of talent. And that's why I expect them to be a very good team this tournament.
All right, guys. Now, Status Quo, they started off slow last event. Let's see if they can pick it up early at this one. They're playing on the Doritos Friday night kickoff. Let's move on now to our number 7 seed, and it's Carbon now after finishing 11th in Orlando.
A very dangerous 7 seed. Obviously, yes, they did finish 11th in Orlando, a very disappointing event for Carbon. But in between events, they pick up Naded, the superstar. Naded could take over a game just like we talked about it before. They still have Defy and Best Man, 2 of the best support players in the game. And then you have Walshy. He went positive for the first time since 2008. Walshy played lights out in Orlando. If he's able to do that here, Carbon could certainly improve. Actually, Carbon is definitely going to improve with their placement. Carbon's going to break into the top 8.
And, Scott, there's some things we should talk about here with Carbon. Not only is Walshy playing at the top of his game, but Best Man, he now has a monkey off his back. What was going on with him?
Well, Chris, apparently somehow in the offseason, he hurt his lower back, and he didn't have the money to do it, to get it repaired. So he finally was able to get it repaired, and now he's able to play comfortably again instead of before he had to play like this. Now he can kind of lean back and be comfortable again.
And we were talking to him earlier. He said, you know what, I'm finally playing pain-free. I'm at the top of my game. Look out for us tonight. So we're going to be looking for Carbon to come out charging tonight. Guys, you like how I rhyme that? Carbon and charging? It's not grammatically correct, but we're moving on. Number 6 is Final Boss.
And we saw the comeback of Final Boss last event, Chris. We saw them take 3rd place for the first time. They've always been at the 7th, 8th, but now they're finally back. Now, this is a monster team. When Pistola got dropped from Triggers down and joined this team, you take a 3-time MVP and put him with the 2nd and 3rd most positive players in Victory X and Fear itself, you're going to get results. It's not going to be a question whether or not this team can slay, because we all know it. We just watched them destroy and Slayer. This team is coming to play, and they did exceptionally well at the 5-team land.
And it was about the, well, you mentioned 3 players. You talked about Victory X, Fear itself, and the new addition Pistola. But you didn't mention Ogre 2. Ogre 2 has been playing lights out as of late. I watched them at the 5-team land, happened to tune in at 6 in the morning. Ogre 2 was going off. Guardian Ball, plus 16, most time for his team. He's back to his old form. If Ogre 2 plays like he did at the land, Final Boss, top 1, without a doubt.
And I have to ask you guys, now, you both were able to watch that 5-team land on the landnetwork.com. But tell me, what did you really see out of the Final Boss playstyle? I was kind of worried about this because on paper, I see it as 4 great Slayers, but really no one to run the objective. What did you guys see?
Well, I had to go back to, it might be a little corny, but it's the ability to have fun. And that's what Final Boss was able to do. In game, they were all having fun. Pistola really lightens the mood. I thought Tots did the same thing, and that's why they played so well. You're really not losing so much when you replace Tots with Pistola. It's going to be about the same lightheartedness. They like to communicate. They like to play the game. They're young kids, and that's what you get with this new Final Boss squad. It's like a revital. They're like kids again, and that's why Final Boss is playing so well.
I have to agree with you, but the thing I noticed is that Ogre 2 is finally back to doing the objective and being back to how he used to play with his brother. Throughout his entire career, he's never been the main slayer. He's always been the objective, and he gets most kills. And he just did that here tonight. He's an incredible player, and with Pistola, he feels like he doesn't have to slay. Even though Victory X and Fear Itself are incredible players, he still feels like he has to fill in that role of slaying, which now he can step back because he has Pistola on his team.
All right, so Final Boss looking to be the complete package. Triggers down, you might have created a monster. Let's move on.